Hello everyone, my name is Andrew Ryan Hinkey. I am the developer, designer, writer, pretty much everything for the game Einlanzer. I wanted to do a series of YouTube videos for a few reasons. One, I want to give you some insider information and insight into Einlanzer, what I was thinking when I made it, some secrets, that sort of thing, and also strategy. Strategy is how to beat certain things. I designed Einlanzer to be challenging for everyone, kind of in the vein of the old games from the 90s, Final Fantasy VI, which English version is Final Fantasy III, Final Fantasy IV, which English version is Final Fantasy II, and those sort of games. They were challenging. It seems like nowadays games are, in general, much less challenging than they used to be. So Einlanzer is definitely in the style of the old games, so it's challenging. There are sections in the games that people, struggle with. So I wanted to give you my designer strategies coming straight from the man who made the game. And maybe it'll help you out. Maybe you just watch this, enjoy it. Maybe you'll start your own game. Einlanzer is available on Steam. Just go to Steam and type in Einlanzer. So let's get on our way. Here we go. We're on full screen currently. Alright, so difficulty. I'm going to play this on normal. Normal is how the game was originally designed. Second made easy an option, and then later it made hard an option. Hard is very hard. If you are a seasoned veteran of RPGs and you really like a challenge, you really like to struggle with how to beat each enemy, and have normal enemies on the world map potentially have an option of killing you, then go for hard. Normal is going to be a good challenge for anyone who knows this type of game or is familiar with video games in general and can optimize and strategize at least somewhat. It'll give you a good challenge in a lot of places in the game, but should be beatable by most anyone. As the game says, there's no shame in playing easy. If you're more into the story and kind of just enjoy the adventure and enjoy the journey, or if you're not used to these types of games, go for easy. And there's no shame. There's nothing you can't get in easy. There's no like special treasure chests or anything like that. The only thing you cannot get by playing easy or normal is the Steam achievement. So, for beating the game. So if you beat the game on easy, you get the easy Steam achievement. If you beat on normal, you get normal and easy. If you beat on hard, you get hard, normal, and easy. That's the only thing, the only difference. So I'm going to play it on normal. That's your first achievement. I did that more than anything just to see who actually started up the game. Because I'm sure you're like me, sometimes you'll buy a game and never even boot it up, or you'll boot it up months later, buying stuff when it's on sale. So that achievement, more of anything, is just to tell me who booted up the game. And about 71% of people who buy the game end up booting up the game, which is actually kind of more than I thought it'd be. Alright, so these are your controls. This is for keyboard if you want. I am using a Steam controller, so these are my controls. And if I find it works very well. When you boot up the game, there's a second option to use PC, Xbox 360, PS3 controllers. Basically any USB PC controller will work with the second option. I'm using the first option with this Steam controller. So here we go. There's a little forward for me. I'm going to rush through it a bit. That's me, that's my writing. I really wanted this to feel like the old games, and it'd be a good representation of those old games. There's so many RPG American games out there that are very short, that are very poorly made. I want to make something that really had the quality of like Final Fantasy VI. That was kind of my standard the entire time of making Einlanzer. So here we go. The Einlanzer is a holy sword that has been protected for centuries by an order of fighters and mages known as the Sword Bearers. It is said to be able to slay and gain power from pure evil. The Einlanzer has not left the Swordbearer Temple in hundreds of years. It is said that the Einlanzer was once responsible for banishing Yavalik, the god of the abyss, back to the depths from which he came. However, the Einlanzer is now a rusted, dull artifact. It is hard to believe the legends seeing it now. Victor, a young man raised as a berserker, has joined the Swordbearers after being orphaned. He has found a new family among the Swordbearers. Victor is currently on duty to guard the Einlanzer. It is his first time in the most important position, directly next to the Einlanzer. Though Swordbearer Temple has never been successfully attacked in hundreds of years, Victor would be the last line of defense if such an attack should happen. A little bit of foreshadowing there. So, one of my goals for the beginning of the game was to have it give you a good chunk of story, set up a clear motivation, and do it quickly. I timed it. The intro is, if you go through it at a regular pace, not commenting like I am, is about 4 minutes long. That's it. 4 minutes and you are playing. So many other games I've played, it's this grueling affair. The beginning intro, 20, 30 minutes long. You don't care. You just want to play the game. I bought recently Final Fantasy Type 0, I think it was called, and it had this big, ridiculous cutscene in the beginning. It was all CGI, and it lasted about 20 minutes, talking about all these wars and battles, these kingdoms, and I didn't care. I just wanted to see if I even liked the game. Nobody wants to invest that heavily into a story and into a world if they're going to hate the game, hate the gameplay, and just quit. So, you get straight into the gameplay after 4 minutes of intro. That was a design on my part. So, here we go. These controls. Victor says, I'm proud to be guarding the Einlanzer, but man, this is a long shift. I'm practically falling asleep on my feet. Hey, Finn! What's up, Victor? How much longer are we on guard duty? 20 minutes. Okay, not too much longer. What am I going to do after this? Hey, Abel. Yes? Want to work on our swordsmanship again after our shift? Heh, you're just itching to get even better, aren't you? Yeah, when I have a challenge, it is hard for me to get it off my mind. Want to meet in the courtyard sparring area? Arena? Sure, I know you'll get that new technique this time. Just let me get some food for my beautiful wife first. Abel, I'm a paladin on duty. Your compliments are appreciated, but now is not the appropriate time for them. So serious all the time. It's a wonder why we work so well as husband and wife. So I thought one thing that was very different I wanted to do with Einlanzer, and I felt more mature, is to have a married couple within the party. I don't know if that's ever been done in an RPG before, at least a major RPG. I thought it'd be fun to play with. So Abel and Galadin are both playable characters eventually, and they're married, so I thought that'd be interesting. She says, "Heh, sometimes I wonder the same thing." What? Hey! You said it first, Tubby. So sleepy. You know, can't, and Victor's falling asleep. Fun little fact, I like to throw a lot of fun little facts out to you while I'm doing this playthrough. That little sleepy eyes Victor image right there that you see, this is the only time in the whole game it's used. So I made it specifically for that. Alright, Victor's falling asleep. Gotta stay awake. Victor. The Einlanzer, Yavalik, see your fate. So, this has thrown a lot of people off when they first play the game. There's about to be a big decision, as this guy is talking about. This actually doesn't have any direct influence on the game. It's more just a foreshadowing of kind of how crazy and big and insane the events are going to get. Like, if you kind of take a second look at this image, there's a lot going on. And I wanted to show the player how epic this game will get by the end. So if you look closely, you can see someone with wings, with devil wings, which you'll eventually learn the name is Lilith. There's a lot of characters. This Swordbearer Temple is destroyed, where you were just in it a second ago, and it was not destroyed. There's glowing people up at the top, and they start talking about gods, and you wonder maybe those are those gods. So that was the point of this. The decision you make, in a second you'll see it, actually doesn't have any bearing in the game. So a lot of people are confused by that. Alright, here we go. So this is actually Master Cairn, the leader of the Swordbearers, but the player doesn't know that yet. Victor, we have appointed you to be the arbiter over this great decision. Have you made up your mind? Will you allow the three gods of our world to continue living? One choice means eternal struggle, but the gods live. The other means peace, but with the murder of the gods on your conscience for the rest of your life. I have made my decision. Go ahead, Victor. It is your decision to make, Victor. Give us the decree of all creation. I have decided. So here's the decision. It actually doesn't matter which one you choose. But I wanted the new player, to know how epic this is going to get. And this is a huge moment in the game. Right before the end. So I'm just going to pick this one for now. We cannot fight forever. The gods must be killed. I cannot doom our children to fight for the rest of eternity. The three gods of our world must be destroyed. Vic, you're asleep while standing. What? No, I've never seen someone sleep while standing before. Use me, Victor. What? Who? What? Dude, you were out. Just own it. Anyway, we heard something outside. It's probably just a wandering monster. Story. What the heck was that? Ah! We're being attacked. Victor, stop. What? Someone's in trouble. You need to stay here. You are the last line of defense. But nothing. This is your duty. Guard the Einlanzer with your life. But my friends are outside. No, Abel's right. My duty is with the Einlanzer. Oh no. So this isn't... I mean... I wanted to... With Einlanzer, I wanted to kind of give homage to the games of, the 90s in a lot of ways. And in doing so, kind of pull a lot of things from the past. Some of the things from the RPGs from the 90s are kind of corny, are kind of cliche. So what I wanted to do was still kind of pull a lot of things from that, familiar things the player's going to recognize and be able to identify with. So this is obviously, of course you knew the Einlanzer was going to be taken in this intro scene. So that's, it's nothing new yet. But I wanted to play with these old tropes, these old cliches, and do new things with them. So I feel like I succeeded very well in that. So you'll see as the game goes. So, give us the Einlanzer, stand aside, and we will move you by force. I used to say, well, we will kill you, but it doesn't kill him, so I changed it. By force. I am a sword bearer. You know I will defend the Einlanzer until my last dying breath. Dying breath. And you have made the choice. Ah. It is ours. It is ours. We have it. Let us go. Let us go. Specifically made him walk over that dead guy. I have failed. I am not fit to be a sword bearer. So this is the event that shatters the party. You eventually start wandering around trying to find him. So here's Vic out in the wilderness. For the first time in hundreds of years, the Einlanzer has been lost. Unknown assailants with incredibly strong magic invaded Swordbearer Temple and took the Einlanzer. After the loss of the Einlanzer, the Swordbearers scattered across the land to search for it. Any clues about its whereabouts or about the mysterious assailants? Due to his shame at not being able to defend the Einlanzer, Victor has shed the Swordbearer title and gone into self-imposed exile from the Order. After wandering and being a sword for hire for weeks, Victor finds himself near the small town of Seabreeze. And here we are. If I hadn't talked, that would have only been 4 minutes, and you're playing the game. So, subclasses. I added subclasses actually right after the game was launched. I thought of it a few weeks before the launch of the game, which was March 1st, and I really wanted to get it done by the day of launch, but it just didn't happen. There were too many factors in play, too many things that could have gone wrong, and I wanted to make sure it was tested and polished first. So I actually introduced subclasses about a week or so, I think, after, maybe a couple weeks after launch. So, Victor is a Berserker. He has strong attacks and attack abilities, so this is the intro of what his main class is, and we're going to get to choose a subclass in a second. He can focus his anger into rage abilities. When in a rage, Victor gains more max HP, more attack, and regenerates some HP. For each new permanent character you gain, you have the option of 3 subclasses. The subclasses you choose is permanent. Subclass you choose is permanent, so think hard about which one you want. Choose Victor's subclass. You will have a chance to read about each before you have to make your decision. So his 3 choices are Knight, Crusher, and Lancer. Basically, the Knight is, well, I'll let the description talk for itself. So Knight subclass, Victor will gain the ability Cover, which allows him to take a hit for an ally who is low on health. He will also gain 10% more defense and match defense. So Knight's a little bit more tanky. He's a little bit more, more able to help his allies. So let's not pick that. Crusher. Many abilities are fueled by RP, which stands for Rage Points. You normally gain RP by attacking, defending, and taking hits from enemies. The Crusher subclass ability allows you to passively build 5 out of 100 Rage Points each round of combat. He also gains 20% more speed. It's a pretty darn useful subclass. Let's go to Lancer real quick. Victor is already able to use axes and swords. The Lancer subclass allows him to use lances and spear weapon type and gain abilities for the weapons. Do you want to choose the Lancer subclass? So this lets him, be able to use a 3rd weapon type. He can't normally use lances or spears. It basically gives a little more variety for how you can build him, and a few more abilities. I want to stress the point that I tried really hard to make all 3, subclasses for every main character equal. So there's really probably not one that's better. If there is, it's not the intention. It's really just a choice which one you think is the most fun. I've never done a playthrough with Lancer before. I think it might be fun, so I'm going to choose Lancer. So in this playthrough of the game, he will be able to use lances, axes, and swords. So it'll be fun. Let's do it. Okay, so here we go. There's the controls. We're playing. Here it is. Highly encourage you to save it right now. The game will remind you a few times here and there. These are some old save files. Let's see, it looks pretty much duplicate. Let's save that one. It's game 4. Alright, so start off with a bronze axe, a sword, and a spear. I wanted to give you one of each of his weapons. So spear is this kind of new special thing. Let's give him a spear. So on level 2, he's going to gain a new spear ability. He doesn't have it yet. All he has is reckless attack. Oh, I lied. He does have impale. Yeah, starts with it. So this ability he would not have had if I hadn't chosen the Lancer subclass. So strong, it has a 50% chance to cause paralysis. That's going to be really good, especially early on, because almost nothing has defenses against paralysis early in the game. Reckless attack's a little more strong than a regular attack, and has 25% chance to cause the target to be confused. So, starting off with some decent abilities. They both take rage points, 15 and 10. So, he's got some armor, no headgear yet, no accessories yet, no shield yet. Spear you can use a shield with. Actually, all 3 of his weapons you can use a shield with. Alright, let's do it. Talk to this guy. As they slide at the cave, it is off limits for the moment, the rest of town. So let's get into our first battle. Let's fight some slimes or something. Alright, this music that you're hearing, I wrote a lot of music for this game. I also have a music degree, so I've had a little experience with composing. It's not the best thing ever, but I'm proud of it. I think it's good. I think it works. So let's try out Impale. Let's impale this imp. Aha! Down. Alright, so I don't have any special for either of my special attacks, so I'm just going to attack this slime. There we go. So the attack animations are actually different for each of the different weapons, which is something I implemented pretty soon before launch. I realized it was silly to not have different animations for the different weapons. So let's do axe, and I just want to show you the different animation. So, little fun fact, the enemies in this green area, the grass area, are actually different than the enemies in this rocky area. They're a little bit harder in the rocky area. These guys do poison. So watch the axe animation. Oh no, I'm stunned! Hang on. there's the axe animation. It is different than the other attacks, the other weapons attacks. So I do not have Impale because I am not equipped with a spear. That ability is only usable with a spear. So I'm going to use Reckless Attack. That didn't kill me. Alright, I did heal. So it's time to go to town. Especially because I am poisoned. Yeah, I'm poisoned. So poison does a little bit of damage every step. Or not every step, every few steps. So 172, I'm still 172. I'm in town. Ah, the town of Seabreeze. What a nice little ocean town. I should write about my time here in my journal. So you have a key item called Victor's Journal. Automatically updates your adventure as you go. If you ever get lost or forget what your objective is, check the journal. This was a suggestion by my father because he would play and then leave the game for about a week and come back and forget what he was doing. So he's like, hey, you need to do something that'll tell the player where to go if they forget what they were doing. So, save your game, save often, brings up the menu so you can save it. There we go. Still have 172 health. Let's see how long it takes to get to 1 health. 87, not long. Still 87. 2, yeah, so poison is pretty deadly early on. Okay, so let's look at Victor's Journal. Oh yeah, and you also get trophies for all of your achievements. There's a little thing in-game for your Steam achievements. Alright, journal. I'm in the area of Seabreeze. I should battle enemies to get stronger and talk to people around town to see if there are any freelance jobs I could do for them. Oh, here's a tag girl. Tag girl is actually kind of hard to program. Oh, she's coming after me. So if you notice, she doesn't actually run directly towards you. If she did, she'd get stuck on everything. The same thing when she's running away. She actually has, I think, 3 movements away from the player and then 1 random. So she still gets stuck here once in a while, but it's not nearly as bad. So, let's get her. Let's get her. So she doesn't do anything. It's really just for fun. Okay. This girl, you talk to her. She says she loves the beach. Don't you? There's no result, like permanent result for your choice. This is just for fun. If you say yes, she'll give you a little bit of beginner info. If you say no, she gets a little mad at you. Yeah. So, all right, tag girl, go away. This guy is the guru for the beginning of the game. You need to talk to him to learn stuff about the game. You can read that if you want. I'm not going to go into it because I made the game, so I know all that stuff. This lady tells you how many enemies you defeated. Her text will actually change once you've defeated, I think, 20 or 30. So you can talk to people if you want. I'm not going to talk to everyone in this playthrough because I know what they say. I'm also not going to pretend like I'm searching and don't know where the secrets are. So here's a secret in this bucket. It's a potion. I now have an extra potion. Right. You start with some stuff. You start with a couple of antidotes, a few potions, and a tent. So we're hurting a little bit. I can't remember where all the items are. I think there's one of the log over here. Nope, there's this log. Nope. I don't remember where all my secrets are. Hang on. This log? There we go. Hello, kid. See, so a lot of people in the first few playthroughs were complaining that they got a little ways in and then they died. So I added a lot of people just to basically say, hey, save often. Let's go in here. Get our free antidote. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I don't think we need anything yet. I'll buy one alchemist fire just for fun, in case I get in trouble. Yeah, one more potion, sure. Nah, 2 more potions, why not? We're gonna get a new character soon. We can heal, so. Alright, I'm gonna go in the inn. Obviously, there's a lot of people you can talk to here. Everyone has unique text. You can play the piano. Yeah, so obviously it's an homage to Chrono Trigger, how you could play the piano and actually learn it. You don't learn in this game, but yeah, it's fun. You can play the piano. So originally the game had a lot of alcohol references. Obviously, this is still a kind of an alcohol reference, but it's not directly. So there's a secret over here. Let me grab that. Oh, this shirt. I had to change. I had to change the alcohol references because it was giving me a teen rating, and I did not want a teen rating. So I took out every alcohol reference in the game, and there were pretty many. Not like it was like gratuitous, but just little jokes here and there. Like this guy would say, like, you know, oh, I drank too much. I think Victor would have said, oh, this guy drank too much, so he fell asleep. It's just a little inappropriate, so I took out all the booze references and changed them around so I could get the everyone 10 plus. Alright, so your first mission is gained from this guy. This is Lynn, I think his name is. Hello, traveler. You new in town? Yeah. You looking for a nice bed for the night or just a drink? So there's a lady outside that reminds you that the innkeeper is looking for a little help around town. So there's a couple things pointing you towards this guy that he has the mission. Hopefully nobody gets stuck on it. I do need a bed, but not yet. Let's get a drink first. The drink would be nice, thank you. How much will it be? Well, it's on the house if you tell me what your business around here is. I'll have a good chat, see? Alright, I'm a freelancer for now. I used to be with a warrior group that I had to leave. I wanted kind of like the fact that he was in the Sword Bearers to be kind of like a secret in the beginning. I think more than anything because he thought it might draw attention to himself. You know, who are these assailants that stole the Einlanzer? He doesn't know. Maybe they're looking for him to try to kill him. He didn't know, so he's kind of keeping that secret for now. Later it doesn't become an issue once the party gets bigger and they think they can handle themselves. So anyway, now I'm just looking for some jobs to make some gold. You know what, son? I might have a job for you. This is, obviously the first mission of the game. It's a little cliche, but it's straightforward. I wanted the player to feel familiar in the beginning, to know that they are playing a good old classic style role-playing game. So it's a very straightforward mission. Alright, do you? Let's hear it. A weaponsmith in town makes fairly good armor and weapons for his small town, but he has been unable to make any new items because the cave to the south where he gets his ore has caved in. There's a guard there watching the entrance. We saw him earlier. If you could find a way to get past him and get some ore, I'm sure the weaponsmith would pay you. Yeah, that sounds like a perfect job for me. I'll go talk to him now. Tell him I sent you. He's been a tad grumpy recently. Thank you so much. Alright, I still need a bed. I wrote this music. Sleepy time music. For some reason, I found it very easy to write dungeon music, so I'd say about 2/3 of the dungeon music in this game was written by me. I think there's a secret right here. Nope. Alright, this kid tells you a little bit about the differences between different armor and weapons. I'm not going to talk to him. Alright. Well, then the innkeeper thinks you could help me, eh? Well, if you have more guts than the royal guards, you may at least have a chance. Go give that guard near the entrance to the cave this seal. It was given to me by the king a long time ago. It should get you past. Go clear that entrance and bring me some more ore, and I will pay you very well. Also, I guess I can sell you weapons and armor now too. So we got the royal quest. That is the item required to get into the cave. Oh, and I'm sure you know this is a little intro about axes and swords. So axes are less accurate, but more powerful. Swords are they're still pretty powerful, but they have basically perfect accuracy. Every one of the games, except for one character you'll get later, has 5% miss chance by default. So even using a sword, you still have a 5% miss. Not even including the enemy's evasion chance, which they usually have at least 5, but usually more like 10, 15. So yeah. All right. Yep. Okay, so let's actually buy a little bit of something from him. Never mind, I spent all my money. Man. Let's sell a sword. Because I was going to use the spear. Alright. Sell these. Don't need no axe. Don't need no leather shirt. Let's see if I can buy something with a shield or something. The helm's a lot better. Let's buy the helm for him. Alright. A little more tanky. Yeah. And away we go on our first mission. I think it's anything else to do in this town? I don't think so. Nope. Okay, let's go. First mission, here we go. There's a landslide at the cave. It is off limits for the moment. Go rest in town. Oh, that's a royal crest. My orders, they were still... I have permission to enter this cave. Stand aside. Yes, must. Will of king. He sure acted weird. So that should be a little, for, you know... No, what's the word looking for? You know, hint at the future. Can't think of the word. That something weird is going on with the guards. So, just to show you that, you can't go that way. You have to go into the town, or go into the cave. Alright. First sense that something weird's going on. What? I don't understand. There is no cave-in. The way is clear. What's going on here? Here we go. Let's get some stuff. Give you plenty of antidotes. Early playtesters were saying that they were getting poisoned too much, so I gave you lots of antidotes. Also, the potions of life were too expensive in the shop, so I gave a bunch more potions of life in the first dungeon. So, alright, this is just saying, good idea to go into the menu to see what it does. So, yeah. There's rat. Rats don't do anything, they're just for decoration. It's fun watching them run around though. Some gold. Hey, isn't that? Alice, is that you? Victor, why are you here? To share a quick embrace. I'm freelancing, like I told you and the rest of the group I was going to do. Why are you here? I'm following a lead too. There's something strange going on with this ore mine. We heard rumors that the king had been snatching up all of the resources in the area, including this ore mine. I had to sneak past that royal guard. Now, I get in here and I hear horrible noises coming from deep inside. The rumors are the king has been taming monsters to use as pets. That's impossible. The king has been fair and good for decades. Why would he be acting differently now? We don't know. That's why I'm here. The rest of the group is out investigating other areas. Would you like to team up again to help me with this? Well, I vowed to never be a part of the Sword Bears again since the Einlanzer was taken under my watch. But it's just me, your old friend. You can help me with this one job. Yep, you're right. It's just you. Great. Let's get going. Alright, so here's Alice. She's a priestess, she's a healer basically. She can heal people, cure people, read spells that bring people back to death, near death. It's called faint technically. Alright, she can use blunt weapons like maces and flails, and she can also use staves, which is staff, plural, later. I don't think she starts with one. You can use magical armor like robes and circlets. Use her magic a lot. Alright, so here we get to choose her subclass again. Battle Cleric actually makes her a decent fighter. If you want her to be physically offensive, it does the job. So plus 50% strength. It makes her a decent attacker. Even with this, she's not really quite as good as like Victor and some of the others, but it definitely makes her decent. Diviner? I don't know what this is. This just raises her magic attack stat. Oh yeah, an offensive whole enemy party skills. So Starlight and Starlight 2 deal holy damage to all enemies. She really doesn't have any other abilities that do that other than a couple rage point abilities. So if you want her to be a little more offensive, that's a good choice. And then Devotee. So it makes her a little more tanky. All healing spells and items will be 25% more effective on Alice, including her own spells. She looks to gain 10% more defense and magic defense stats. It's pretty good. I've done the last playthrough I did that. I'm gonna do Devotee this time. I think it's really probably the most solid choice in the end. She's really quite offensive, and her healing spells do more in general with the Diviner. Battle Cleric's kind of fun. Let's do Devotee though. Alright, so she's going to be a little more tanky and heal more. It's going to be good. Let's do it. Alright, we're set. Let's go to equipment. So on the Steam controller, X and Y, you can quickly switch between characters. On if you're using keyboard, I think it's page up, page down, or Q and E, I think I made it, because you move with W, A, S, and D. So you can use Q and E. Anyway, here's what she got. She got a mace. She got a hat. I think this equipment won't last long. We're gonna get better stuff for us soon. Let's save. Let's do it. Let's go. Come on, Alice. Alright, so this was actually this dungeon I redid a month or two before release of the game. The original one was I made early on in development. It wasn't very good, so the map is a lot better now. Oh, the path splits ahead. Which way do we go? Well, one way probably leads deeper into the mine, but the other might have useful treasure. Well, I leave the decision to you, Victor. Alright, so this the point of that in exchange is just kind of to show that there's a mindset in Einlanzer that I think is actually true in most other RPGs also. That yes, I'm controlling Victor, physically. The others kind of just follow, but he's also kind of, the idea is that he's giving orders to the rest of the party as well. So when you're in battle, it's always the idea that Victor is giving orders of what to do. So that's where the role-playing comes in. This is a role-playing game. You're playing the role of Victor. Now, a lot of other RPGs, the main character does not talk. That's because it's supposed to try to make it a little more immersive for you, so you feel more like you are actually playing that character. Because you can't talk, you can't put your words into the game, so the character is silent. That's the idea. I never liked that, like in Chrono Trigger, as amazing as a game that was. The fact that Chrono doesn't talk is bizarre to me. Like, he should talk. Funny little fact, there is a cutscene where you can find, in Chrono Trigger you have to like cheat to get it or engaging or something, but there's a little scene where Chrono talks, and he basically says like, I think it's Marley and Luca are like, what? You talked? I didn't think you talked. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, talk all the time. And again, I think that's more to the fact that the idea is that they are talking. Even if the character doesn't physically talk on screen in those old games, they are talking in the relationship of the world. They're giving orders. You're playing the role of this character, and you can't talk to the characters. You can't talk to the screen. So that's the idea there. All right, we got Alice. I want to make Alice start healing. It's always better to use your magic to heal because it's easier to replenish MP than it is to use your money. One magic water replenishes 100 MP. That's a whole bunch of healing spells, right? So it's more efficient always to use the healing magic to heal your guys up than it is to use items. I got an iron sword. That is a better sword than the bronze sword. It's definitely a better sword than the spear that I currently have. Yeah, let's use it. Sure, why not? I'll use my my pierce. What is it called? Run through, or whatever it's called. I'll lose the ability to use that skill, but that's okay. It's a lot stronger. Maybe I'll use it for the boss. We'll see. Hello, rat. Push him alive. Little exchange between them. Oh, an underground lake. It's kind of pretty. Really? You think that's pretty? I mean, yeah, it's so still and serene. Look how the torchlight reflects on its surface. You're the only person I know who could see beauty in a dank, monster-infested cave like this house. I'll take that as a compliment. In this playthrough, in this Let's Play, I'm not going to try to spoil anything for the future of the game, but I still want to give a lot of insight into the game and how I made it, what I was thinking when I made it. Alice and Victor don't really flirt through the majority of the game. There are little hints that they like each other, that they're friends, but not much more than that. And so right here in the beginning, I mean, that was a little flirtatious, what they just said, what they just did. But through the course of the game, you'll see that their relationship, they put the journey and what they're trying to achieve and accomplish on a much higher pedestal than that, so it's like not even an issue. So any flirting that they do is, it's very subtle, and if you kind of pay attention, you'll see it. But it's subtle, and it's subtle for a reason. Yeah. So I don't want to spoil anymore. Let's go. Wow! Look how deep it is in the middle. It looks like it reaches all the way down to the abyss itself. So that's an introduction. The first time I've ever mentioned the abyss. which is a big key part of the game. Let's walk around the deep part. So the Abyss is like the underworld in this game. Everyone would know that, you know, it's not a place you want to go, not a place you want to hang out if there's a hole to the Abyss, or, you know, even jokingly. What's funny is at the very end of the game there's a bonus dungeon that's actually right below this first dungeon, and so it is very possible that that hole actually does lead to the Abyss. So little kind of funny jokes like that I like to throw in there. So little things like that are kind of what the point of this video is. So, alright, got a burlap robe. It's a magic robe. Victor cannot use it. Go into the menu and then equipment to see what it does and equip it on Alice. So I wanted to make the player a little more aware that not every character can use every piece of equipment. So there's burlap robe for Alice. I didn't equip it. Let's go over to Victor. It is not available, so he cannot equip it. And obviously Alice cannot equip that big heavy armor that he's wearing either, so she cannot equip the leather armor. I wanted to teach that to the player early on. Let's go on. A little exchange between the two of them here. Oh, how far does that pit go down? I'm not sure I care to find out. Let's keep looking for that monster. Fun fact, later in the game, this path actually leads to the extra secret super hard dungeon. You know, extra into the game dungeon. That's actually harder than the end boss of the game. So, it's not really a spoiler, it's just kind of a fun fact. So, it's blocked for now, but obviously later it will be not blocked. So there's your first glimpse at the boss. Kind of fun that you get a quick glimpse at it. This is kind of teaching you that you can walk past these rocks. It's not very hard to figure out, but you never know. Alright, so these fungusoids, there's a Steam card for them. I think they're one of the rare Steam cards. They replenish their health. They're actually pretty hard. They have a lot of health. Let's kill the burrower first, just to get rid of them. If you know there's a weaker enemy, you usually want to kill the weaker enemy first, so you have less things attacking you. Ooh, he's stunned. So stunned is a status effect that is basically like a vanilla version of paralyze. Paralyze makes you not able to do anything for 3 to 5 turns. Stun is 2 to 3. So it's the same thing essentially, but just less time. So now you just wail on him and he'll be dead. Alright. Push alive. We got a few of them now. Let's heal up. So one of every character has passive abilities. So one of Alice's is that she is 50% resistant to dark elements. You can read that at the top. And regenerates slight MP. She actually regenerates 1% of her magic points during combat. So she has 106 magic points right now. Means she'll regenerate 1 magic point every round. I think it's 1. Maybe I increased it to 2 quickly before release. It was 1 pretty much all of development, so if it's different, then that was a recent change. Here's some detail stats for you. Oh, see with a 125 recovery in the middle there? That is from her subclass. That's from Devotee. So that means she gains 25% extra healing from all healing effects. Target rate down at the bottom left, 55%. That's basically how often the enemies will target your characters. She's 55, Victor is 105. Which is slightly above average, so he's going to be targeted, what, double as much as Alice? Yeah, so that's kind of my game's way of doing the rows, like in Final Fantasy. You used to have front row, back row. So yeah, there we go. It's boss time. What is that? This has got to be the beast I was searching for. So you think this creature was put here on purpose? Why would the King of Rodari do that? I'm not sure. We have to get that ore, though. So then there's a reminder to save. And the first time it automatically opened up the menu. This time it does not. I wanted the player to kind of, the first time, learn how to save without having to open the menu. Kind of forces you to. This time you have to actually think, oh, I gotta open the menu to save. Slowly, hopefully training the player. Obviously most veteran role-playing game players know that, but some don't. My dad was the first person to ever play through the game all the way through, and he didn't know that type of stuff, so Yeah. He was the one that made me go back and add a lot of things in that were very helpful for people who have never played a role-playing game, especially like this before. So that was for him. So I'm going to end this episode with a cliffhanger. You're about to fight the boss. The next episode we'll pick up with the epic conclusion of this first mission. Alright? Check us on the next episode. Make sure you like and subscribe. And also, go check out Einlanzer on Steam. EINLANZER, Einlanzer. Alright, thank you very much.